Welcome to Metal com Batata. Today we have the pleasure of talking with KÜNTSQUÄD, one of the most intense and uncompromising forces in the extreme music scene. Thank you so much for being here with us and for sharing your music with our listeners.
Hello, Cristiano from Metal com Batata. Nice to do the interview for you. The band, you can introduce yourself, guys.
Brett, bass. Adam, drums. Nick, guitars.
Paula, cunt. Anyway, so this is for the awesome Metal com Batata.
KÜNTSQUÄD emerged in Melbourne and quickly gained attention with your 2022 debut. How do you see the band's evolution from that first album to Satan's Cøck?
How's it evolved, guys?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Much heavier. Yeah.
Much heavier. So what did we do? We kind of
A lot
down-tuned.
more time in this one as well.
Well, we did take more time doing it. Also, we down-tuned again, and we went for a more sort of, we did a lot of introspective sort of critical review of what we were doing, where we were going, and basically we decided we'd make a few changes, make it so that we were all on board with the direction that we wanted to head in, basically. Would you agree?
Yep.
Yeah? Is that yeah?
Your sound blends crust punk, death metal, and a blackened streak, creating an extreme identity with no genre walls. How would you describe the sonic essence of KÜNTSQUÄD?
Uncore.
Yeah, with cunt.
Well, we
Cunt
didn't.
chaos.
We didn't really actually spend too much time thinking about how we could be those things. It was, I think that the sound kind of
Naturally
evolves because of the various things that we listen to, and there's mixed sort of genres anyway. I mean, I know I listen to a bunch of different things.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah. So it's a blend of all our own influences, pretty much.
But there was no sort of concerted decision to make it sound as such. It just is, I think, what it is in terms of how we write, how I write anyway. So the sonic essence is basically, we wanted it to be a little bit more in your face, a lot more extreme, and basically heavier. Because the first record we didn't have a lot of time in terms of the production on that. So we're sort of probably like most musicians, a bit restricted in terms of like money and time. And at that stage we didn't really have a record deal, so it was kind of we were not expecting it to be released or picked up by anyone, but when it was, to our surprise, we kind of reflected on the work that we'd done and sort of we could improve on that. So sonically it's come about because we did spend more time in the construct of the songs and in terms of direction we were heading in, I suppose. So would you agree, guys?
Totally. Yeah. No, we definitely spent a lot more time on this one. So yeah, the first one was pretty much done in like 5 days or something. This took over a year. So.
Paula mentioned that this time the process was more critical and direct. How was it to apply this approach during songwriting and recording?
Like we just said, we did start it like 2 years ago, and we went in with a bunch of songs. Like basically, we were going to put out an EP.
Yeah.
And
like 4 songs.
And we did record it, and it sounded like crap. So we decided we'd just start again, and that's when the evaluation sort of come into it in terms of how we wanted it to sound, and essentially, it started from there in terms of how we're going to go about refining the elements that we wanted to refine in terms of its heaviness. It's a lot more sort of metal, less of the crust punk, and so it was. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
Why am I doing all the talking?
Because you got it.
No. So the approach was, just to take more time and be more mindful of the construct of the songs and, providing space and that sort of thing, so that it's a little bit more direct in terms of where we wanted to head as a band, I suppose.
The album was recorded and mastered at Goatsound Studios with cover art by the legendary rock Sadistik Exekution. How did this collaboration help shape the final result of the record?
Pretty much went with the same as the first album. We had the same artist and the same producer. Stuck with the same.
The collaboration, I think...
Different result.
Yeah, like Jason really knows his stuff in terms of, how to get the sounds that, we sort of like. So we went with him again. Unfortunately, this time round, we had a few issues within the band, and he had a few issues as well. And so between all of that and, coming through it at the end, it was a long, tedious process. In fact, Jason was I was so pedantic at one stage. It's like, can you make it sound like this? And he's like, oh, I don't know what he's very good at it. But this time, because I was so picky, he's like, he's losing his shit a bit, and basically that's when he brought in Jamie Coley, and he sort of helped shape the sound and get the sounds that we wanted. The collaborations with rock, because I really I'm an old Sadix fan anyway, but and I really love his artwork, so basically asked him to do it again. He doesn't do a lot these days, but because we go way back, it was like he was happy to do it. I've actually got
special.
Well, the thing is, he does painting. He wanted to do a painting, so I've actually got the original. I think it's acrylic on canvas sort of thing, and so basically it was taken from that. But yeah, basically we went with the same thing because we were pretty happy with the, I suppose, approach.
Yeah.
The first
Worked
time
well
round.
the first time around. So.
Yeah. So now it's time for the first song. First song, which one shall we pick?
Title track?
Sure, from Satan's Cock.
Here's Satan's Cock. Get into it.
Yeah, which song we pick? Maybe you should go with, Nick, you pick a song, mate. Which one should we pick?
Yeah, let's do Satan's Cock.
Satan's Cock, here it is.
Suck Satan's cock. Put that big scaly pecker down your gullet. Drink that black worm jism. Drink it! Fill your little belly.
We're back with KÜNTSQUÄD here on Metal com Batata. In this next part, let's dive into the release of Satan's Cøck, the amazing response it has received, and what's next for the band. Thanks again for sticking with us. Let's jump right in.
Block 2. So this is the second lot of questions after the song, right? So you've just heard Satan's Cøck, and that sample that you hear, that is
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks, an awesome, was an awesome comedian. Quite dark. We thought it suited the, well, he does a whole piece, doesn't he?
Yeah.
God, you guys are giving me absolutely fucking nothing. Good on ya. Alright, Satan's Cøck was released by Wormholedeath Records and already received strong recognition, reaching number 1 on Sentinel Daily's top 30 chart. How did you feel about this positive response?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Pretty cool.
Sorry to bands like Sodom and Lord Belial, but
Yeah, I grew up loving Sodom, and to out-chart them, that was like, oh my god.
yeah.
So 2 weeks in a row, they were like 8th and 9th, and we were like debuted at 1, and then we were number 1 the second week in a row. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was unexpected, to be honest. Weren't quite sure how the record would be received, but it's been pretty good so far. Yeah, so we're pretty chuffed.
The single Psychotropic Lyfe was also featured on Imperative Music compilation Volume 18, alongside legends like Desde and God Dethroned. What does this level of international recognition mean for you?
Yeah, it wasn't Psychotropic Lyfe, it was actually Eat Your Entrails. That was the one that was on the Imperative Music comp. Yeah, well, we were stoked to be on the same comp as
It was only released to like record labels and stations and whatnot. It was a promo thing, so it wasn't available to the general public. But it was cool to be included.
Yeah, for sure. Like it certainly, when it came out, it sort of opened, because it was before Satan's Cøck came out, and it was a taste of things to come because we hadn't released anything prior to that. So it was the first release since putting out the first album. So when that came out, people were like, oh wow, what's this new, fucking new or whatever, more polished, if you want to call it that, sound. It wasn't polished, it's not polished at all. But it was a lot heavier, and people were like, it was
more larger, it's more dynamic than the first.
Yeah, and it just I think it marked, I think for a lot of people who had been waiting for the new stuff, where we were at as a band. So it was really good to have that sort of feedback from Imperative Music. They put out, this was number 18 I think, and they put a whole bunch of comps out for a while and continue to do so. So any band has an opportunity to jump on that, it's worthwhile.
You've already started announcing shows in Perth and Melbourne to promote the new album. What can fans expect from the upcoming live performances?
More of the same.
Carnage.
Metal Carnage. More of the same. Oh, like we like to, we're not so, what's the word for it, pedantic about being too serious, in the sense that we don't take ourselves too seriously. There's definitely a darkness to the music and what we stand for. However, live, it's all about entertaining people, I suppose, and if people can get into your music, that's a bonus. We've done a few shows since that's come out, and it's basically been really positive, especially like with the all ages crew, the young kids.
Yeah. And we like playing live, so it sort of reflects in the shows, I think.
Yeah, I think live is it's the forte of our band, in the sense that I think, I think a lot of bands struggle with getting their live sound and what's recorded, to be kind of on par. But we've always been a stronger kind of live band in many ways. So trying to capture that, the essence of that on a record, I find it particularly difficult, which is why we're kind of like pickier this time around. Certainly wanted to make more of an effort to ensure that, you know, vocals and, you know, just the heaviness, overall sonic heaviness of the band came through a little bit more, because we've been doing that for ages. Even when the first record came out, people were like really surprised between our live performance and what we'd recorded, and that's why we needed to step up in terms of, you know, how we recorded and represented ourselves on, you know, it's always a snapshot in time when you record, I suppose. But yeah, from a live perspective, we've always been heavier live than what we recorded. So from that perspective, yeah, it's been really good. So anyway.
Looking ahead, what are the next steps for the band in terms of touring, music videos, and new creations?
Like I said, we're working on another video shortly, because a friend of ours has done a video shoot with, she's like a fire performer. So we'll be working on a new video with that. You will be?
Yeah, all our videos are DIY, but there's a few things in store. Like we've got another video coming out, obviously.
We've got the tour as
The
well.
touring, yeah, we're doing most of the states, well, all the states this time except for Northern Territory. This time round, first time we get to Perth in a few weeks.
Next week.
Yeah.
A couple of shows.
By the
so
time you get
looking
this.
forward to that, yeah.
And new creations, well, there's always new music in the works, but at the moment we're just focusing on promoting this album.
Yeah, and the touring.
Yeah, and the touring. If we can get overseas, that would be great. We do have some ideas about going either to Europe or the States, or both, or whatever works. But at the moment,
next year.
At the moment, that's what we're focusing on, and try and do the best we can across. So, yeah, a few things up our sleeve, but at the moment it's just touring the record.
To close the interview, please choose one more track from Satan's Cøck and leave a message for your fans and for the underground scene tuning into our show.
And that is it, folks. So, to close the interview, we will choose one more song from Satan's Cøck, and this time it can be you, Brett. What do you recommend? Or you,
Latest single, maybe.
the latest single, which is
Ominous.
Ominous? No. Yeah, I don't know. Ominous. All right. Ominous.
We'll
it
go
is.
ominous.
Ominous.
Enjoy.
By a Cristiano.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Play certain rock albums backwards, there's satanic messages.